Right now on NBC 26 at 5, 6 people are dead after a house fire in northern Wisconsin. We'll have the latest on this story. Plus, with the heat rising, some tips to help with your energy bills. And what is Operation Call It Quits? Find out what this means to you and those relentless robocalls. Good evening, I'm Regina on This Just In. One man is dead after being shot by a Neenah police officer. It happened on the 900 block of Taco Street in Menasha. Police say the man shot was transported to Theta Care in Neenah and died from his injuries. Police say the officer was there for a search warrant in regards to a possible internet crime against children. This is a developing story. We'll be sure to keep you updated. And 6 people have died after a house fire in Langlade County. The coroner confirms 4 children and 2 adults, 1 male and 1 female, died in a house fire in Pickerel this morning. 8 people were in the home at the time of the fire. 2 escaped and were taken to the hospital. The sheriff's office was called just before 6:30 this morning to a multifamily home on fire on County Highway DD. Investigators believe electrical problems may have caused the fire. Well, we're now 4 days into the official summer season, and the weather outside is starting to feel like it should this time of the year. With the heat, Wisconsin Public Service is advising people to try and conserve energy. NBC 26's Ryan Curry live in Green Bay now with some tips. Ryan.
Yeah, Regina, it feels just like yesterday. We were complaining about it being too cold outside, and now summer is finally here, and the heat is also finally here. And WPS says they're expecting more of its customers to be using more energy as the summer months go on. Now, WPS says they're expecting more customers to be using AC units as the summer days continue. They say that will lead to an increase in monthly energy bills, more expensive energy bills. To help cut back on some of those costs during the summer, they advise people to use air conditioning mostly in moderation by only running it a few times per day when temperatures reach its highest of the day. However, they also said a cheap way to help out is to get fans. They say those help circulate air throughout a home and keep it cool.
A fan running 8 hours per day costs about $2 per month. And again, it helps keep areas cooler, helps you from raising or lowering the temperature on your thermostat to be able to have that air conditioner run less frequently.
Now, Wisconsin Public Services also offers some little tips to help you save money during the summer as well. Those things all include anywhere from using smart thermostats to also installing LED lights. Those things in particular help save money throughout the home in general. That way you can allocate that more to using an air conditioning to keep your home safe and cool during the summer. Now reporting live in Green Bay, Ryan Curry, NBC 26.
All right, thanks Ryan for that. Turning now to weather. Cameron, speaking of air conditioning, it's starting to get warm out there, kind of nice.
That's right, Regina. Today was the warmest day in over 2.5 weeks, with most spots getting up into the lower and mid 80s. Right now we are looking at 80s north and west of Green Bay. South and east of Green Bay temperatures are a little bit cooler. Upper 70s. You can see we've got lots of 70s and 80s across the Badger State, and we had lots of sunshine as well, kind of a mixture of clouds and sunshine across the area. We did have a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms, but for the most part the day was dry. We do have dry conditions across the area right now. There are a few thunderstorms across the far north, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that a stray shower could work into northwestern sections later on this evening, but most of us will be dry right through sunset, temperatures falling through the 70s, and then clear and quiet overnight. Regina?
Thanks, Cameron. Well, the Appleton Fire Department has announced Mitch Lundgaard Memorial shirts are now available. The online sale is now underway and ends July 7th. All profits will go to the Lundgaard family. Lundgaard was shot in the line of duty back on May 15th after responding to a medical call on a bus at the Appleton Transit Station. If you'd like to purchase a shirt, you can visit our website for a link. That's NBC26.com. Well, the acting commissioner of U.S. Customs and Border Protection resigned today. This comes after reports of hundreds of children living in what lawyers called appalling conditions at 2 Texas border facilities. The House is now trying to pass a multi-billion-dollar humanitarian aid bill to help migrant families, which the White House officials say the president will likely veto. NBC's Jennifer Johnson has our story from Washington.
The people united! As immigration advocates protest on Capitol Hill, the acting U.S. Customs and Border Protection Commissioner, John Sanders, resigns. This comes after reports of migrant children living in what's being described as deplorable conditions at 2 Texas facilities. The House now trying to pass a $4.5 billion emergency bill to address the humanitarian crisis facing detained migrant children.
So we can remove the needs that they have, but also the shame that we should have that they don't have diapers and toothbrushes and the care.
Amid the controversy, 300 children were removed from the facilities, but about 100 have been returned. Lawyers say the youngsters had no access to basic needs like soap.
We met with children who hadn't changed for weeks. These are the most appalling conditions I have seen in my 12 years of representing children and families who are detained.
President Trump blaming Democrats for the children being here.
Ask the Democrats to give us help on asylum, help on all of the loopholes, the horrible loopholes.
After a record 144,000 migrants were apprehended crossing the border in May, the White House says President Trump will likely veto any bill that doesn't include money for border security.
The president should be ashamed of himself for using children as political pawns.
The Trump administration under fire again as it now looks for another Customs and Border Patrol chief. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
Our neighboring state, Illinois, is now the 11th state to legalize small amounts of marijuana for recreational use. The state's new governor, J.B. Pritzker, delivered on a top campaign promise today and signed the legislation surrounded by supporters. Under the new law, adults can buy and possess up to 1 ounce of marijuana for personal use. Patients in a medical marijuana program will be able to keep 5 privately homegrown plants for personal use. The Federal Trade Commission has a new mission to help consumers who are plagued by unwanted robocalls. Operation Call It Quits is the latest government crackdown on telemarketers responsible for more than 1 billion illegal robocalls every year. The FTC is joining forces with other federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies to implement this new campaign. Those agencies are aiming to drastically reduce the number of harassing calls that reach consumers. Last year, nearly 4 million consumers complained to the FTC about unwanted robocalls.
If you hear a recorded sales pitch when you pick up the phone, hang it up. The call is illegal.
And experts also recommend if you do get a robocall, avoid pressing any button or speaking, which could confirm an active number and lead to more phone calls. Well, still ahead tonight, how many families today celebrated Kids Day right here in Green Bay. Plus some new improvements for those of you headed to Summerfest this year and also for years to come.
And now, your Storm Shield forecast with NBC 26 Chief Meteorologist Cameron Moreland.
With highs mainly in the lower to mid 80s, today was the warmest day in weeks, and we've got a lot more 80s on the way. Here's a look at your 7-day temperature trend. Our normal high is 78. We're going to be looking at lower to mid 80s for the rest of the work week, and then we'll kind of jump around the 80s as we head through the weekend into early next week. In fact, on a couple of those days, some spots could see highs in the 90s. Right now, we are looking at temperatures that are pretty close to 80 just about everywhere. It is 82 degrees in Shawano. We've got 82 in Watoma. It is 80 in Fond du Lac. Temperatures are just a little bit cooler near the shoreline of Lake Michigan, but still very nice, upper 70s to around 80 degrees. Right now in the valley, it is 79. We have a mixture of clouds and sunshine with gusty southwest winds. It is 80 right now in Green Bay with southwest winds gusting up to around 30 miles per hour, and dew points are in the lower 60s, so slightly humid conditions across the area this evening. Storm Shield radar showing some scattered showers and thunderstorms roughly from about Oshkosh south and east during the early afternoon. Then we had a couple more thunderstorms pop up north and west of Green Bay. Right now we've got just a few very isolated showers here north and west of Green Bay and then across Washington Island. Besides that, it is dry. We do have some more showers and thunderstorms across far northern Wisconsin, and there is a chance that a couple of those showers could work south later on this evening. But for the most part, I'm expecting dry conditions for the rest of today. The satellite picture shows a trough of low pressure now pulling away from Wisconsin. It kicked off some big storms across the southeastern part of the state earlier today, and we're still looking at a severe thunderstorm watch farther south and east. There's that next little system kind of riding in from northern Minnesota, and then behind that we've got high pressure, which overall will be our main weather maker here as we head through tomorrow. Temperature-wise, we've got lots of 80s. This is obviously a big change from what we've been seeing for most of the month, and these 80s will continue to build north as we head through the rest of the week, into the weekend and into next week as well. Tomorrow's forecast calls for more of the same. High temperatures will be in the lower to mid 80s. Skycast shows quiet weather, mostly sunny skies with high pressure in control. As we head into Thursday, we can expect temperatures once again to climb up into the 80s. A little bit cooler near the lake, 70s to around 80 on Thursday. A chance for maybe a shower or a thunderstorm as another little weak system kind of moves in from the north and west during the afternoon. But right now it looks like they're going to be more miss than hit. But of course, we'll fine-tune the forecast as we get closer. Tonight, a very slight chance of an isolated shower, especially north and west of the Fox Valley. Besides that, look for fair skies with diminishing winds. Lows will be in the lower 60s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. Highs getting back up into the lower half of the 80s. On Thursday, sun and clouds, a chance for a thunderstorm. Lower to mid 80s on Friday, sun and clouds, a chance for a thunderstorm. On Saturday, a chance for a thunderstorm. High temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s. Obviously, it's not going to rain all day, but being on the northern edge of a warm and humid air mass, there's all these little systems kind of moving through from time to time. Very difficult to pinpoint the exact timing and intensity this far out, but as each one moves through, there will be a chance for a thunderstorm. You can see temperatures will be in the 80s as we wrap up June and move into July.
So it's going to be hot and pretty stormy, humid kind of throughout the week.
All of the above. Lots of sunshine overall, but every once in a while we'll have that chance for a hit or miss thunderstorm, kind of like what we saw today. And the humidity will be going up as well. Dew point 60s to around 70.
Oh, wow. Have you turned on your AC yet?
It has been on, but primarily to keep allergies away.
There you go.
Stop the sneezing inside the house, yeah.
All right, Cameron, thanks for that. Well, coming up next, all the sights and sounds, how families today celebrated Kids Day here in Green Bay. Today it was all about the kids for the 17th annual Kids Day in Green Bay. There were dozens of free events happening at several parks. Bay Beach Amusement Park, for one, once again offered free rides to kids. Many people happy for the better weather today for all the fun.
The weather wasn't exactly in our favor for having a lot of people here yesterday, so we got to get caught up on a lot of things and try to get things done ahead of time. Always a fun day watching everybody go around and as a family and just enjoy what we have to offer.
And you can still take advantage of those free rides at Bay Beach. They're open tonight until 9 o'clock. And as a part of Kids Day, Wello announced a new program that's being funded from $15,000 grant. It's in partnership with Green Bay Parks, Prevea Health, and Wello with sponsorships from the Wisconsin Beverage Association.
I mean, it's really to fund the Parks RX program, which is a clinically based program to connect kids to the parks, right? So I think we all kind of have those memories of being outdoors and active as kids, and this is, one of those ways that we're really trying to encourage kids to get back into their neighborhood park, connect with the community, and be active at the same time.
And the grant will be used over the next 3 years. Well, the 4th of July is just around the corner. NBC 26 is keeping you connected to all of those celebrations in our area. We've compiled a couple of fireworks shows in Northeast Wisconsin. You can check that out on our website, NBC26.com, and click on Fireworks Celebration. Coming up next, Summerfest. Future looks pretty bright after some new improvements. There's just one day left until the big gig. Julia Fellow shows us the multi-million-dollar improvements to keep the artists coming to Milwaukee for generations to come.
Sometimes word of mouth is all it takes to get the big acts. Vice President of Entertainment Bob Babish recalls a recommendation from none other than Prince.
The first time he came here, he loved it.
Was really good walking.
And the Stones wanted to do something a little different than the usual stadiums they did. So the producers remembered Summerfest site.
And then word about Summerfest magic got to Beatles legend Paul McCartney.
His people talked to the Stones people and they said, you'll love the building because it'll feel like it's right on top of you.
It doesn't seem like there's
seats for 23,000 people.
Right, that's true. But that's the charm of the building.
With artists seeking to do more over-the-top shows for their audiences, Summerfest raised the roof. Literally.
Like a stadium show, every roof has 60 feet of clearance. So we said,
So the pyrotechnics and everything?
Yep. So going into this, we said we need a roof to be as high as a stadium roof.
How much money did this cost so far?
Yeah, well, it cost a lot. I'm just going to leave it at that for you. But this year,
Tens of millions?
Tens of millions.
That includes new video screens, movable stage to create anything that you could imagine, and something we won't see but artists appreciate. Beautiful dressing rooms.
We've already had people call us and say, could you change the color of a dressing room? We go, no, we don't do that. Yeah. How about if you change the furniture? Well, if you pay for it, we'll change the furniture.
Tens of millions of dollars there. Looks great. Well, last night, the Greek Freak won the NBA's Most Valuable Player award. Hear from Giannis about his moving acceptance speech. That's coming up next.
And now, NBC 26 Sports with Kelly Price.
By now, you've heard that Giannis Antetokounmpo has officially been named the NBA's MVP late last night. And by now, you've also seen his incredibly moving acceptance speech. 4 minutes and 47 seconds of raw realness from Milwaukee's superstar, thanking his coaches, his teammates, his family, especially getting emotional when talking about his late father, who died in 2017 of a heart attack, and his mother, who he called his hero. But none of it, he said, was planned.
I was talking with my family yesterday, and they told me if I had anything prepared, and I told them no, I didn't have. I'm just going to talk from the heart, and they asked me if I'm going to get emotional, and I'm like, there's no way I'm getting emotional. And but when you hear your name up there in the stage, and then you realize all these years of hard work, and what you did in the past, then you start getting emotional. But yeah, I definitely didn't have nothing that I did. I didn't expect myself to get emotional. Yeah, I want to thank God.
That was awesome to see. All right, we'll be right back.
Cameron, it's so nice to feel the warmth of the 80s.
It is. You know, they've been gone for so long.
It has been gone. It's been a while.
We're happy to have them back. At least most of us
reunited.
are. Not everybody likes the 80s. Some people are very content with the 60s and 70s. But we've got more 80s on the way. Here's a look at your day planner for Wednesday. Lots of sunshine out there. Temperatures will be in the lower to mid 80s, slightly cooler near the lake. If you like the 80s, you're in luck. They're sticking around through the weekend.
Yay, they're sticking around. We all love that. Good night, everyone.